So I came to Nick and Ryan because I've spent probably the best part of 28 years trying my hardest to feel fit and healthy and energetic. 28 years ago, it's no coincidence, I had my first gorgeous son 28 years ago, and after that I had quite a difficult time with having him, which left me in quite a physical bad state. Not only did I have to have operations after I'd had him, but my whole body didn't feel like my body. It felt suddenly like somebody else's body. And no matter what I did, I couldn't really get back into feeling like me. And that's really the only way I can describe how it felt. Before I'd had kids, it's not their fault. Before I'd had kids, I was sort of like, I wasn't particularly sporty, don't get me wrong. I didn't like, spending hours exercising, but I enjoyed being physical. I enjoyed doing activities that were physical. I would give anything a go because, you've got to try stuff when you're young and get involved and do stuff. But once I'd had the children, because I'd been unwell after I had them, everything I tried, I hurt myself, I injured myself. And from that point on, I had numerous attempts. I've been on every diet possible. And I know a lot of people say that, and they try a diet for a few weeks and then it doesn't work, and so they try something else. I understand the consistency is key no matter what you do. And so I would try it for like 6 months, 12 months. I would make small progresses in my health. Either I'd get a little bit fitter or I'd lose a bit of weight, but nothing worked enough. And so gradually, and it was really gradual over the years, I've put more and more weight on. And when it goes on that slowly, you don't notice it. You just feel like that's the norm. And I got bigger and bigger and bigger, so much so that actually there was a point where even today, because I'm not at my goal weight yet, but even today I still feel like I can't remember what it felt like to be in that body pre-children. So I tried all these different things, and one of the biggest problems I had was I could diet really well or I could exercise really well. What I couldn't do is the two together. And I'm not alone in that. When I talk to a lot of women, they talk about how they've got the time to do the sport, but they can't get their heads around because either they're eating their kids' food or they're finishing it off, or they're too busy going and doing stuff. And I think when you're bringing up kids, there's a lot of that. Your time isn't your time. Your time is focusing around everyone else in the house. And so not only do you lose track of what's happening to your body, but you also lose the focus on you. You don't put yourself as a priority. And I don't think there's probably not a parent, to be absolutely fair to all men out there. I've never asked them. It's the women that turn up at coffee mornings in my day that looked after kids, so that's who I met. But every woman said the same. They said the priority wasn't on them, it was on making sure everyone else in the house. And that's fine. But what that means is you get into a habit of not caring for yourself. I don't mean you don't dress nicely or you don't put your makeup on or what have you and do things to make you feel better, but you're in the time that's left. You're not the first thought. I'd had 2 successes previously, one with Weight Watchers and one with Slimming World, where I'd lost 3 stone each time, which is quite a lot of weight. I don't know what that is in kilos, but it's quite a lot. But neither of those times did I feel like I was on a plan that was sustainable. And again, because it was only the weight and not the exercise, as soon as you stopped on the diet, the weight started to go back on. And again, because I put it on slowly, I didn't notice. We got to lockdown and I was quite determined that during lockdown I was going to learn a musical instrument, I was going to learn a foreign language, and I was going to lose all my weight and get fit and healthy because we had nothing else to do, surely. And fair enough, we actually decided in our house we were going to try and reduce our meat intake for the good of the planet. So we went vegan, and we did vegan for 1.5 years. And to start with, I lost weight, and we were out in the garden playing badminton and doing sort of like walking, because we were allowed to do that, weren't we? But then I just found all the naughty vegan foods and I stopped exercising, and it made absolutely no difference. So what I'm trying to say is I have had just about every attempt to try and get my life back and try and become the person that I felt I was deep down inside. And that's not just about your physical appearance. It's not about how much weight you've got on. It's not about whether or not you're getting grey hairs, whether or not you feel, like you want to run a marathon or not. It's about who you are inside. And I think when things take a downward turn, everything is affected. So your motivation suffers, your sleep suffers, your confidence suffers. And again, I've worked with enough women. I used to be a nanny, so I would be working with CEOs, top company execs. They had a year off to have a baby, their confidence would be on the floor. So I know there are lots of other things that factor into it, but I think everybody wants to feel like they can do whatever they want to do when they get up in the morning. When suddenly you don't have the energy, or you injure yourself every time you try and do something physical, or you've got too much weight to get a strap closed to try climbing, for instance, or you're on an aeroplane and you're having to use the extender strap, and it's so embarrassing, and you just think, I can't live like this any longer. It's just not fair. I need to try something else. So I was kind of at the point where I thought, it's just about me being lazy, not putting enough effort in. These are all the things I need to knuckle down and do and just get my head straight and get on with it. But actually it was none of those things. And I knew Nick through business prior to talking to him and Ryan with their new company with Unstoppable. So I guess there's already a level of trust there. We've always had quite an open, jokey relationship. It wasn't so much a business thing because I worked for a company that Nick looked after. And that helped because although they're incredibly approachable, both of them, and they network to death, they are everywhere and they want to tell people there is this amazing solution, come talk to me. I think when you've had that many goes at the next thing, you just think, oh great, they're the next thing. And the cynic in me, and I am really cynical, Nick will tell you if you ask him, just thought this isn't going to work. This is just the next thing. But I listened to what he said, and actually the best thing he ever said to me, because I said to him, I find it quite uncomfortable to run for various reasons. And he said, I promise you'll never have to run if you don't want to. And for me, that sold it to me there and then, because he was listening. He was listening to what I was saying. He wasn't saying, here's the next great thing, and you have to do it this way. And then I spoke to Ryan, and Ryan said, oh no, we work with what you like to eat, and we build the plan around you. And I was like, now how does that work? Because I quite like crisps, and I quite like cheese, and I quite like... And so the very first thing they taught me was that my body runs on fuel. Guess what? Shocker, who knew? Just like a car. And your fuel, what you put into your body, will affect how you feel and how your body responds. So if you put bad fuel into a car, you can literally ground it. I've done that with my body a few times. But it's a fuel, it's an energy source. So if you understand what the fuel does in your body, then you make an informed choice. So you can have anything you like, but there are consequences to what you have. Still, the cynic in me thought, oh, I'm going to be on a lettuce leaf a week, but it wasn't like that at all. It was, tell us what you like to eat. Here are a million recipes. Go and find some that excite you. Go and find something that you want to cook. Go and find something you want to try and come back and tell us what you think. And if you like those, we'll find you more of those. So that was phenomenal. There wasn't a set diet plan. And the word diet isn't used because your diet is fuel. It's fuel. It's just energy to fuel your body. So that was different. The next thing that happened, we talked about exercise, which is an evil word in my head because I've never enjoyed it. It's been 28 years. And Nick said, well, what do you like to do? Do you like to dance? Do you like to walk in the countryside? What do you like to do? Because we're going to do what you like to do. And a lot of people say, find an exercise you enjoy. But when exercise is a word that gives you pain regularly or injures you, you don't associate exercise with the word joy. So when someone says, what do you like to do? You just want to say, are you for real? But it hurts. Why would I do any of it? So for them to say, find something you enjoy that actually gives you pleasure, and even if that's going for a walk 3 times a day up and down the garden or whatever it is, we're going to find a way to give you some joy out of doing this. That was another revelation. So I got given a set of stretchy bands that have become my best friend. So I didn't have to buy expensive gym equipment. I didn't have to go to the gym because, again, when you're a bigger person, just walking into a gym is phenomenally difficult to do. And everyone looks at you, whether you think they are or not. It's probably in your head. I think everyone looks at everyone that walks into a gym for a few seconds. But when that happens and you're bigger, you're already used to people looking at you in the street. So it just pulls you back into that little cocoon. I don't want to do this. So to be able to exercise in my own home, in the privacy of my own home, but have an app that's got both of them on, showing me how to do, because I'm a very kinetic learner, so I have to do the stuff, be shown the stuff, read about the stuff I like, all of that kind of like learning all the different ways that you can take information in. I need all of them, and then I need to have a go. So to be able to do that, and to be able to say to either of them on the call, not getting on with this exercise, show me what you mean, and have them show me, and that worked, because I was, again, a bit cynical. How's this going to work? Sort of long distance training, but it's brilliant. It works really well. That set me up. And what they do is they do what we call in business habit stacking. So they start you off with the thing that you find easiest, that you find most comfortable to do, and they build on that. And then they stack the other things up. So for instance, I thought, waiting for you've got to drink water. Can I get away with squash? And I was kind of like, oh, how much water? Now, I struggle in a day if I haven't had 4 litres of water. When I started, the thought of drinking 4 litres of water in a day, I'll be honest, the first week or 2, you're on the little lot, but after that, it calms down and your body accepts it because it's a fuel. It's what your body needs to be able to actually not be sleepy, to stay energetic, to keep hydrating, to flush all the bad stuff out, and to keep you and your skin and your hair feeling amazing, it's now my best friend. So it's not difficult. I think that's the thing that I've found really surprising. Every other diet or exercise plan I've done has been difficult. This isn't difficult. Now, I'm not saying there aren't difficult times. There are times where it gets really tough to manage all of those things. And that's because when Nick and Ryan work with you, that's all the how to, but they focus on why. Why do you want to do this? What's it for? Because if you don't understand what motivates you to do this and you don't have a passion to do this, you're not going to succeed at anything in life. So you need to find that inside of you. You need to understand what it is that's driving you. And then even if, like me, having spent 28 years trying to figure out in my own head what's wrong and why I can't get my act together, so I didn't think I had any head work to do, boy, was I wrong. So the times that they spend with you on your one-to-one each week, yeah, we go through a bit of the exercise, a bit of the eating plan, how I'm getting on. That's really important, the check-ins. But they're doing that daily anyway, so you know they're there on the end of the phone if you need them. What that session's about is getting to the bottom of why you do what you do, why you self-sabotage. And for me, I didn't think I did, but I definitely do. And how you can change those habits and change your mindset, because that is very much a big part of your success journey, because this isn't for so many months or so many weeks or so many years, however long you're going to do this. This is for life. This is to make sure that your body feels like you. So I have been with Nick and Ryan for just over 11 months. I've lost a considerable amount of weight in that time, but that was my first focus. It's now no longer really an issue. My main focus was to get my body back and to be healthy. And the reason I say that is when I started, there was a trigger to what happened, because I've been jogging along since my 28-year-old was growing up. I've been jogging along thinking I'll be fine. I'm just a chubby mummy, and that's kind of my thing. I got into my 50s and I was like, that's kind of what most 50-year-old women look like around me that I was hanging out with. So it was like, whatever. But I actually went to the doctors about something, routine checkup, and she dropped a bombshell on me and said, you know what? You're a ticking time bomb. You are pre-diabetic. You have really high blood pressure. Your cholesterol is not good at all. You are literally a heart attack or a stroke waiting to happen, and you are the perfect age. It was not. I didn't feel anything. I felt fine. That was the biggest slap in the face that she could have given me, but it was also the best thing she could have done for me. So when I met Nick and Ryan and they started to talk about this, I said, well, hang on a minute. I understand you're wanting me to invest my time, my energy, my money into this program. I cannot waste my time on the next thing. This has to be for life. It has to save my life and it has to work. And they promised me it would, and they have not let me down. I went back to the doctors thinking that I wouldn't be fixed until I'd got to my goal weight. I went back to the doctors a month ago and I had a full MOT again. And not only am I virtually in a safe BMI, which I was nowhere near, I have no pre-diabetes. I have normal blood glucose. I have normal heart rate. I have normal blood pressure. That's the word I was trying to think of. I have reversed everything that she said. She was so stunned, and she said, your resting heart rate is so good that the computer is now bleeping that it's dropped so much that we've now got to investigate you for a low heart rate. She said, I'm not worried. I understand fully. It's because you're fit and healthy. And she was absolutely right. I had it checked out and they said, no, you're just fit and healthy. Congratulations, well done. And for me, I'd pay that 3 times over again just to have that, because that's phenomenal. To know that I'm not heading in that direction and I've changed path. And that's without even telling you that I came to them with an injury that kept reoccurring. I'd been and seen professional physios to try and have it sorted. It wasn't getting any better. They fixed it in like 4 weeks. 4 weeks, and it's not come back in 11 and a half months. I cannot say thank you enough to both of them. They're phenomenal. They're great humans anyway. But it's not enough to be a great human. You have to be able to deliver on promises when you're talking about somebody's health and what matters to them the most. And me being able to plan my son's wedding next year and know I'm going to be fit and healthy to be there, that's worth all the money in the world. So for that, thank you both very much. If you are thinking about changing your life and making a difference for life, don't think twice. Don't think twice about joining up with them. The support you get, the encouragement you get. I can give you a big sales pitch, but just know it will change your life. and it will make you feel like that person that you lost touch with a long time ago. And it reverberates. I'm more confident in business. I'm more confident with clients. I feel like I can own who I am. I'm even getting used to compliments, not brilliantly, but I am getting there. I'm getting better at that. I am loving buying secondhand clothes. Best tip I can give you is if you are overweight and that's why you're doing this, because there are lots of reasons why you might want to come and join this program. All of them revolve around the health of your body. But if one of them is being overweight, quick tip one of the other girls gave me was buy lots of secondhand clothes, because it gets very expensive very quickly to keep coming down in size. So fun things like that. I can't remember the last time I had fun buying clothes. To go out and actually buy clothes for an event was painful. The only bit I enjoyed was the shoes, because you don't change shoe size very often. It's kind of like, oh, that'll be fun. So if you are in any doubt about sorting out your life, getting your confidence back, getting your body back, feeling like the person that's inside there, and knowing that you've been given the gift of the next 20, 30 years feeling fit and healthy, that you can start thinking about maybe doing rock climbing for the first time in your life. I want to go in a canoe. I've never been in a canoe. I don't know why. It'll probably not be as exciting as I'm expecting, but I've got the choice now. I didn't have the choice before. So yeah, don't even waste a second. Just sign up, because you won't regret it.